Hello and welcome back to She Boss Nation 90-Day Coaching Program. My name is Kacy. This is Kylie. In this video, we are sharing with you 3 tips to make any leader love you. These 3 tips are things Kylie and I have learned from experience because we do have an incredible team filled with amazing individuals, and then also we have a lot of leaders that we work with personally, and I don't know about you, but I want my leaders to like me. So these are things that I do as a follower to gain more respect from my leaders. Tip number 1 that we're going to share with you is the most important one. And also, this was the hardest tip that I learned. And it's the reason why it took me years and years before I made a consistent income. Tip number 1, if someone can drop this in the comments, be coachable. Being coachable, it's humbling. It allows you to put your ego at the side. And what I know for sure is success leaves clues. If someone has more success in an area of life that you want to have success in, if I were you, I would do exactly what they do. I would do what they say. Do what they say, and you'll get what they get. Do what they say. I'm missing a word. If you do what they do, say what they say, and you will get what they get. So number 1, being coachable is you're not questioning your leader all the time. You're not questioning the actions they ask you to do. They have been there, they have done that, and they've learned from failure. They failed for you. Kylie and I have learned in our businesses of 7.5 years of failure, about 4 years of consistent action. My first couple of years was a wash because I didn't take any action. But we've learned from so much failure, especially the last 4.5 years we've been building 100% online. So Kylie and I know what works and we know what doesn't work. And we've been able to help people create success if they're coachable. But if somebody isn't ready or if they are not coachable, we can't help them create success. And so I have to give a huge shout out to a new member of our team. Her name is Jamie. So Jamie joined our team at the last month. And for Jamie, in her first month in business, she rank advanced 6 times. Do you want to rank advance 6 times? Well, how did Jamie do it? Is Jamie was coachable. Right? She did the things. She followed this success plan. She didn't question what we said. Nope. She didn't make a science project out of it. Even though we're 15 years younger than Jamie, I can see sometimes where in business what happens is we question the people we're working with, maybe if they're not our age. Jamie, I'm pretty sure Jamie's about 15 years older than Kylie and I. She didn't question us. She listened to exactly what we said. She followed our system, and she was coachable. And because she was coachable, she told us what her goals were, and we shared with her, okay, these are your action steps. If you want to make this much money, okay, we have to take more action. And that's exactly what she did. She just kept taking action consistently because she had big goals. She wanted to win a free iPad. Not everyone wins a free iPad. She wanted to rank advance several times. She had some income goals. So she was focused on her activities because we handed her, right, the activities to take the action steps because Kylie and I knew what her results would be if she took those actions consistently. And in Jamie's words, she said, I followed the rules. I love it. That is such a beautiful way to say it. If you're coachable, you follow the rules, right? The best athletes are the ones who follow the rules, right? You can't go into a basketball game and double dribble, foul, run outside of the lines. No, it's gonna be a turnover. So this is why so often in life people don't see success. It's because they just keep having turnovers because they don't listen to their coach. Right? They're not coachable. Their coach knows how to coach the game, and all you have to do is play in the game, right? most teams, the most successful teams, have the best coaches because the coaches have the blueprint for success. And the coaches have an overview of the situation going on. The coaches can see what the players don't see because of their experience, right? So in Jamie's case, what happened was she trusted Kylie and I because she saw that we had success, and she didn't question what we had to say, and she was coachable, and she took the actions that we told her to take, even though maybe some of them didn't make sense, because sometimes our mentors will share with us actions we don't quite understand, but if we trust them, we're going to do it anyway. And it's so important to find people who you trust, who you're willing to follow, that know the blueprint, that can teach you the steps to success. Tip number 2, be resourceful. One of my favorite traits about someone that I work with is when they're resourceful. What do I mean by resourceful? Is if they have a question, they try and figure out the answer to the question, right? For our specific business, we've had an amazing problem to have, but we've had some backorder situations, right? Someone who's resourceful is the one. Our company's growing like crazy, so it's a really positive problem. Super positive problem, but the person who's resourceful is not the person that comes to me and say, hey, which flavors of liquid gold do we have right now? The person who's resourceful is the one that goes to our corporate page and looks it up, right? They go to our Buzz page and they look it up. There's a lot of places to find that, but someone who is resourceful is the one who tries to find the answer before they ask the question, right? When Kacy and I first joined our business, we've been with our current company for 4.5 years, and when we came to this company, all of our up team leaders, they were brand new too, right? None of us knew how the social retail model worked. None of us really knew anything about the products. But how did I learn? Is I researched. When we came to our current company, we didn't have people we could ask questions to. So I had to figure it out. I had to be resourceful. And for you and your success, your leaders will love you if you are resourceful and you say, hey, I have this problem. This is what I'm thinking I'm going to do. Or this is the solution I'm thinking I should use to solve this problem. Does this sound okay? It's showing a solution with the problem you have because you've taken time to be resourceful. That's the way that you have success in entrepreneurship and building a business, is by being resourceful. Your resourcefulness is in direct correlation to your success because you're willing to go through the bumps in the road and still keep going on the road. You don't give up. You just go over the bumps, and you understand there will be bumps and there will be problems. You will find the solutions, but you're resourceful with the problems you have. And then when you go to your leader and you say, I've looked here, I really can't find the answers. We have an amazing woman on our team. Her name's Diane Halstead. Diane, I love you. We've been working with her for the last year. What I love about her is whenever she comes to Kylie and I with a question, she says, okay, girls, I've looked here, here, and here. I'm still struggling to find the best way to answer this question. What's your advice? When she comes to us with solutions to her problem that she has, I know she's thought about it. I know that she's not trying to waste my time, right? She's being resourceful. She's trying to find the answer to the question, and then because of that, she answers the question herself and she figures it out herself. So to have the mindset of I will figure it out is crucial. And also when it comes to being resourceful, it's also not being lazy. That is irritating to leaders. It's super irritating if you're just bluntly being lazy. So what I mean by that is, how do you learn the hardest lessons? It's when you discover the answer by yourself, right? How do you learn algebra is when you figure out the problem. You can't have someone show you the answer without you figuring out the problem. And so when it comes to being resourceful, this is how you'll remember information, right? It's like studying for a test. You failed, and all of a sudden you came to the right answer, and now that answer is ingrained in your brain. So I love working with people who are resourceful. All right, and the third thing to do to make your leaders love you is use group chats. We are huge fans of group chats. We build our entire business through group chats. But maybe you have questions. Maybe you do have questions that you can't figure it out. Ask in a team group chat. Your leaders love when you do that. Why? Because everyone else in the chat gets to see the question being asked and then the answer. So everyone in the chat gets to learn together versus one-on-one, right? Because that's something Kacy and I personally, what we're working on this month, is utilizing group chats more so that more people learn the information. So when you have a question that maybe a lot of other people have, ask it in a team group chat so everyone can learn and grow with you. But here's something super important about group chats, and this is just a side note, but when you're in a group chat, you never want to bring negativity. Ever. Negativity is not allowed in a group chat. Negativity needs to go. Anytime you're going to complain, it's not going in a chat with other people. Negativity goes up to your leaders. Positivity gets spread throughout the team. So really being intentional about that when you are utilizing group chats, that if you have something negative to say, it's not worth saying it. Go to your leader, share your negative thought, or if you need to vent, I totally understand there's a place and a time for that. But don't go into the team chat and say, oh my word, I can't believe this is happening. Okay, stop. Don't do that. Do not go into a team chat and say something negative. So negativity always goes up. Negativity always goes up to your leaders because it's important to have somebody to talk to and to vent to. But when especially your team chat, that always is positive. You want to share as much positivity in your team chat as possible. And also when it comes to group chats, your leaders will love you when you use group chats to help you learn. We build our entire business by three-way group chats. I've been put in a million messages the last 3 weeks with Jamie and her sister JoJo, and she's amazing. But the coolest thing with Jamie is Jamie enrolled to join our team. She's incredible. She didn't know what to do except for following the actions I gave her to take. And then she started taking action, and every potential customer she put me in a chat with. So this is so cool. The first 2 weeks, Jamie put me in every chat. And I answered the questions. And Jamie watched. And then the third week, what happened, her sister JoJo started putting both of us in chats. And what's happened, Jamie's taking control of all of those chats because she learned how to handle a chat. She had confidence. And I'm still in the chat to oversee what's going on. And I'm there to answer questions, of course. But Jamie learned from a group chat. JoJo learned from a group chat. It's not a one-on-one conversation. We're not going to learn. It doesn't benefit anyone if it's just one person in the chat and you're trying to talk about the business or the product. There should be somebody in the chat learning. So if you're trying to start your business and you're trying to find success, if you want to reset, relaunch, utilize the group chats. Start from square one and start implementing these 3 tips. I know, like Kacy and I mentioned at the beginning of this video, we didn't find success for 3 years, right? And it was frustrating because I didn't do any of these things. I wasn't coachable. I wasn't resourceful because I didn't take action, so I didn't need to be resourceful. They didn't go hand in hand. I didn't have any questions. When someone doesn't have questions, you know they're not taking the action. And then number 3 is I didn't utilize my upline support. I didn't utilize my mentors. But what I didn't know is the question that I didn't ask was the question that was holding me back. So to recap this video, 3 ways to make your leaders love you. Number 1, be coachable. Number 2, be resourceful. And number 3, use group chats. I love